today. From M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, this is the National Football League. It's the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Houston Texans.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Ka'imi Fairbairn, to get this one started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Ravens offense set to go to work, and it's Lamar Jackson now in his 6th NFL campaign who will lead the way.
All the talk of Jackson leaving the Ravens this offseason was just that. Talk, as the two sides hammered out a deal that made him the highest paid player in the NFL. And why would they want to separate? When he has the ball in his hands, great.
Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Right to the air is Jackson. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards right off the bat, and a quick first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But I missed him. It would have been a different story all night.
15 more yards there, and quickly another first down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Jackson going to run again. Busts through the tackle, and he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. It looked like almost some miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 10 more there and another first down. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's the 4th-year man, J.K. Dobbins. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball sits on the 10, 2nd and 5. Another run here with Dobbins. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Now Jackson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So they decline the hold, and that's going to lead to a 4th down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. That was a long, sustained opening drive, but in the end, only able to get 3, the field goal out of it.
And absolutely, you'll take the points and the early leads. You never get those back. But there will be a little bit of disappointment that they didn't punch it in for 6 after that kind of yardage and that kind of drive that they had.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Here's Tank down to return it from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So here are the Texans now with a fresh face at quarterback, the 2nd overall pick from Ohio State, C.J. Stroud.
In only 2 seasons, Stroud showed all he needed to at Ohio State. All-American, Heisman finalist, program records galore. He looked every bit like the #1 overall pick. He went #2, but Houston is thrilled to have him.
Here we go. 19 Tiger.
On 1st down, here's Stroud. And this is incomplete. Well played defensively, nearly had the interception, but it's 2nd down.
And I think he was a little surprised to see the ball sitting out there like that. That's a ball he had a chance to come away with, but it winds up an incomplete pass.
2nd and 10. The 2nd down throw now from Stroud. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Stroud on 3rd down now. Open man is Noah Brown. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the 1st down there, help them relax a little bit.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A man coming off a great rookie year. It's Dameon Pierce. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Stroud looking to throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Not the warmest starts throwing the football. He was 1 for 3, now 1 for 4 on the opening drive.
So getting him comfortable is the key. And for him, it might be different than what we think is comfortable. We're probably thinking swing passes, easy check downs. Some guys, they're better off throwing it downfield. That's what really loosens them up.
Stroud working out of the gun. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Justin Madubuike working his way to the quarterback that time. 3rd and long, he knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
On 4th down, here's Cameron Johnston on to punt for Houston. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start with the option. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Jackson. That ball caught. And he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one return. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Facing 4th down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there. Desmond King deep for Houston. It's taken to the 26. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Here's Stroud. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Now Stroud. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
Here we go. Set. Moving 19.
Stroud now on 1st and 10. Finds his man. It's John Mechie. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. Stroud. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And at the 34-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, You go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
Award that tackle for loss to the linebacker, Denzel Perryman. Boy, the pursuit there, terrific from the linebacking core.
Oh, it certainly was, because so many times on an option play, you'll see a linebacker make a beeline for the quarterback and then zip, one cut, and he's grasping at air. But this time, he locked in on him the whole way, took an excellent angle, and his grasp came up with the quarterback.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now it's Jackson.
That's complete to his receiver, Bateman.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Jackson to Bateman there for the Baltimore first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44.
11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Jackson now. And he's going to lose it down behind the line. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down.
Here's Jackson. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to make it 4th down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense.
And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
And they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10.
Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. That's a gain of 31 with right around 1 minute to go in the quarter.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
And Stroud now to throw.
This will be caught once again by Brown. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Stroud to throw it. Throw out wide is incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Stroud.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game, but after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
A shotgun snap to Stroud.
Over the middle, complete. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. He finds his target, Beckham. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jackson.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, and now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. Dameon Pierce taking the field with the rest of the Texans offense. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. One carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball. Got a full game ahead of him. Hand it to him again. See if they can start to produce.
First and 10, it's Stroud. Now a leaping catch, he's got it. And he'll be brought down at the 27. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So as it turns out, a 2-play drive resulting in the field goal. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, back to you two in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
Meanwhile, Stroud's throw completed to Mechie. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And the slot man goes in motion left. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
From the 46, here's the 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, it's Stroud. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 37. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They run with the former Buffalo Bill, Devin Singletary. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's 2nd and 3. Stroud now on 2nd down. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion force there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 20-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Back to the ground with Pierce. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. And even 20 yards for Dameon Pierce. And the Texans have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Hard to argue with that being their best drive of the game so far, as they use the running game to get them into the end zone.
Couldn't agree more, partner. Prior to that drive, they sputtered a little bit, but it looks like they found the formula. I would expect them to go back to that more and more as this game develops.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And He's got it as the lead is now 10-6. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told.
And it was Dameon Pierce closing things out with a touchdown run.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half.
And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Jackson, option right. Able to fight through one tackle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Again, Jackson will keep it.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
To throw is Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Throwing is Jackson.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 41-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 41. Now it's Jackson. It's caught. Beckham. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line. So the completion good for 7 there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And they run the option on 2nd down.
Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson.
That one complete to Crochet.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 more there and another 1st down.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That's a gain of 6 on the 1st down run.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
This 2nd and 4. They'll try to draw here with Dobbins.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore.
J.K. Dobbins
Taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Ravens answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with the touchdown run to take the lead.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays.
And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. They'll start on the ground with Pierce.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And Pierce gets it again on second down. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield. How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Jackson going to hold on to it again.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the second time. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at a fourth down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to kick it away. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And the Texans will take over. So Stroud and the Texans
down 13-10, a minute 54 on the clock. Now they need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10.
Here's Stroud. Finding Shook.
Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
That simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week in practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
We've got to have two hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Jackson, options out left.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
Dobbins is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5.
The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
One more time with Dobbins.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flash back to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone getting the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
Now Jackson. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1.
They're going for it with Dobbins.
And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And this Texans defense comes up with a goal line stand. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer 3rd, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
One final shot for C.J. Stroud.
He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well,
CD, for the losing side. They had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway, once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium back.